What up, though, y'all? How you living? I'm guessing it's time to go to work. Dig this here, man. This whole Big U situation is basically taking over the internet, but then I understand why. Somebody like him being caught up in this you don't really expect, but then I guess what else could you expect? Now, he fought his life trying to say that what he was accused of, he wasn't that person. But then, throughout this whole time that I've known him, he been making it a point that he that person. So it get kind of confusing and convoluted, and now he in court for what? Being that guy. Let's check it out, man. I don't really know what to say about this. It don't seem to be going too well. Shout out to Poetic.
He says, I never agreed to this. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't waive my right to a speedy trial. And it became very problematic and confrontational between him and his attorney in court. Now, this was all documented first.
And this is a problem because the rumor on the street was that Big U wanted a speedy trial and everybody else did not.
Firsthand by Eddie Boy of Los Angeles. He was actually in court and he's giving his firsthand account of it. I actually heard this as well from a lot of other people who.
Eddie Boy ain't just Eddie Boy of Los Angeles. Eddie Boy is neighborhood, if I'm not mistaken. Now, y'all know I'm in gang college, so I'm still learning some stuff. But if I ain't mistaken, Eddie Boy is like he might be he's either first or second generation neighborhood, like from the beginning. Eddie Boy like 65 years old or something like that. Supposedly got a good reputation, which being from the neighborhood is not a lot of guys that got a good, decent reputation as a man. But he does. So let's go.
Was present, including courtroom reporters.
His lawyer got up there. You can tell his lawyer was frustrated. To me, his lawyer's a dump truck. I don't care what nobody say, bro. I probably feel the same way about his lawyer, the way he feel about his lawyer. Man, the lawyer's a truck, man. The dude's a truck, bro. The dude talking about he want to file a motion.
Dump truck shows how old he is. But that's a derogatory term. Facts.
Pertaining that, him and Mr. Henley's having some difficulties, some differences and some misunderstanding with each other and all this and all that. But see, when this is what a lot of people need to understand, man, that you as lawyer, dude.
Right.
You representing him.
Right.
He is paying you. So if the man wants a speedy trial, you supposed to make that happen. Irregardless of what somebody else is talking about or the other defendants' lawyers was talking about or what the DA is talking about.
Now, see, this is the confusion. You heard what Eddie Boy just said. He said, if you want a speedy trial, it's your lawyer's job to make it happen. But the lawyer just stood up in court going for a speedy trial and Big U stamped it. What's going on? Now, me personally, I think all of this is about either creating a mistrial, getting some flaws to get some certain charges dismissed later. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when people be fighting a case, you looking at the case that's in front of them, and they're fighting a case from already losing it in jail. So that's why some people do things while they're going through trial or going to court that don't make no sense to you. That's why they omit or admit certain things or have ineffective counsel, like this guy having an 80-year-old lawyer.
That's his dude. You were his lawyer.
He's 100% right. His duty is to serve Big U and to do what Big U want. Now, as a counsel, should you advise on the right path? Yes. And is the right path extending this to May of 2026? Absolutely. You should want to extend this as far as possible, especially if you have 20,000 wiretaps to go through. But in this case, now, I don't know if this is like a court-appointed lawyer or if he's paying for it. His son is in the NFL. I would assume he actually has a paid attorney. But a paid attorney...
Just because you have a paid attorney does not mean you have a good attorney.
Filing a motion to waive the right to a speedy trial and Big U coming to court and saying, I know nothing about this, to me, that's a problem, right? Because the Big U not agreed to this. Now, I feel like what the lawyer plan is, hey, bro, we cannot give you a real defense if the trial date like stays May. Because right now, as it is, without waiving a speedy trial, the trial date is supposed to be in May, which is in is this month, right? Like I'm sure it's not going to be this month, but probably going to be within 2 months. So, bro, I can't go through 20,000 wiretaps. I can't go through this entire RICO case. I can't go through all the discovery, all the evidence, all the confidential informants, all the snitches, all the material. I can't go through this, bro, within 2 months and give you a proper defense. So the attorney is probably telling Big U, hey, listen, bro, before I blow this trial and make myself look stupid.
I don't think Big U want a proper defense. I don't, because that helps with appeals. It helps with a lot of things. But he can't just say, I don't want a proper defense. But let's just let me be clear. For all of these guys involved in this indictment to be street niggas, they've been handling this all wrong. I don't understand what's going on in any of their heads at all, unless California dudes just got get out of jail free card. But from the threats, from the still promoting the gang, from everything these guys doing, even Big U lawyer, I don't get it.
Stupid and never get another client again. Let me just get off the case. And I think Big U want him off the case too. Now, the one thing that did shock me though is apparently Big U will say that he hasn't gotten the federal indictment. Now,
What?
To me, that's just bad.
How? But again, all of these things are grounds for mistrial, dismissal, a case for ineffective counsel.
Work, bro. Because what do you mean you haven't gotten a federal indictment? Big U has been in jail for about a month or two now, right? A month and a half, and he still hasn't seen his own indictment. To me, that's crazy. And like to me, that's
understandable. He only been in there for a month and a half. Now that's
shows incompetence by the attorney. You got to get rid of him if that's the case.
That's understandable because they was arrested on a complaint. The indictment had just dropped maybe 2 weeks ago. So that's understandable. It ain't like it's been an indictment the whole time because he was arrested on a complaint.
And it's ironic that Big U said that he never got his indictment or he never seen his discovery. So I'm gonna give it to the brother, man. I was kind of proud of him, man, when he said that he wanted to go per se. He wanted to go per, because I'm gonna tell you like this: the brother trying to find out who all telling on him for sure.
Now that's a problem. So you making now defending yourself in the court of law is not always a bad thing. And then they do give you assistant counsel. But the information that comes to you is the same information that'll come to the lawyer. Now, the idea that he would have any of these people hit is crazy, but he could be thinking that way. And at this point, it don't matter who's snitching on you, bro. They got you recorded on your own phone talking about all this shit. At the very least, they got you on his own phone sex trafficking and paying for it. And they got the wire transfers. At the very least, they got the PPP fraud in the bag. At the very least, they got you for embezzling from the charity. At the very least, they got this nigga dead to rights. On so many Class A felonies, this other shit don't even matter. And that's the problem with the snitching into this and that. Like, I'm an old street nigga, right? But let's be clear here. If you cooked barbecue and the party can keep going and we could all keep eating, even you, because you cooked yourself, how much of a selfish ass motherfucker would you be for everybody to just have to go down with you, bro? Because make no mistake about it, this dude, he's cooked so good that they would just take him. They would. Why not just fall on your sword like a real G? Why not? I tell you why. A lot of these gangbangers is cowards in the heart and in the brain. Cowards the whole time. And that's why he about to ruin the gang, the neighborhood, everybody that was charged with him. He about to ruin his family when he could just fall on his sword. And then he ain't really got to fall on his sword. He plead guilty, he'll be king of the feds. He gonna still get pussy in there and be getting money. But he ain't gonna do that, is he? He ain't gonna do that. And that's how you know who real and who not.
All made these statements, who the third party cooperation people, and who all the confidential informants. And then also he did another smart move. He kept kept telling the judge that he do not agree with the continuance on his case, and he wanted a speedy trial. And he was doing that just in case for his appeal.
I've never had a trial. I don't know how this works. I don't know how it feels like to be facing jail time. However, what I can tell you is I don't think it's smart to go pro se, which is Big U is requesting to represent himself. What I don't think is smart is requesting to represent yourself and then also requesting a speedy trial. Because do I believe that Big U will be able to study his entire case, go through 20,000 wiretaps, go through all the material, all the information within 2 months? And then, again, I'm not saying he's not well-spoken, but
he don't need to go through the information. When he see who's snitching, he know what they know. It's just that simple. And he know what they did. He's cooked. There is no way out of this. We ain't even really got to watch the rest of the video. The only way out of this is just outright plead guilty, bro. Throw yourself on the mercy of the court. Take that 20 to 30 years kingpin charge. Negotiate that murder out the deal. Take your 20. Do 16, 15. You know, in the feds, you know, you got to go. I think it's day for day, but they got programs. And then he obviously is a drug user. I mean, maybe not, but he could say that. And then get some other qualifications while you in there, man. Be a good prisoner. You get out of there a little bit faster.
But then go to the feds and represent yourself in a federal RICO? Come on, bro. I feel like even if you believe you have confidence in yourself that you could be a lawyer, I feel like that's a little too much confidence, bro. To me, that's a disaster. Asking to represent yourself and then also asking for a speedy.
It's not confident. This guy is a sociopath. Plain and simple. No other way to cut it, man. I hate to hear stories like this, but then again, I understand them. Man, you had opportunity to be anybody you wanted to be. Why would you be that? You ain't have to do that. And then, like, for those of you out there pressing people for your way of life, ain't nobody gonna be there when you get pressed. And then who's there to support you, bro? And if this dump truck is his lawyer, regardless of not if his son is in the NFL, it don't look like his son about to be putting in no money on that. And we don't know what they've been through, but he might got good cause for that. And on that note, think about what you're doing before what you did show up at your doorstep. And we out. Crazy. Big useless. I don't wish jail on nobody, but some of this shit gotta stop. And if you was out there extorting black people while you walk right past millionaire white and Jewish people, fuck you. That's how I feel about it, because you could have extorted one of them and been set for life if that's how you rolling. But if you only putting them grips on other black people, then what is that? What part of the game is that? I don't respect it. I don't respect it at all. I hate that shit. And it ain't just with extortion. You got people that'll talk about a black business, but keep doing business with a white business that ain't never did them right. What's that about? Juan-o, he made that statement about black businesses, and I agree with him to a degree. Ain't no excuse for not having your shit right and you in business. I agree with that. But what I don't agree with is how you put these standards on black businesses that you will never apply to white businesses. Because Gilly done got several nigga wake up calls. They don't know him in the bank. They ain't treating him right in the bank. You think he took his money out of PNC? No. You think Juan-o the only nigga buying foreign sports cars that ain't had to take it back to the dealership. So these motherfuckers is fronting, bro, because whether you know it or not, Lamborghini, all of that shit, they all got problems. Certain Lamborghinis, you know, man, once it hits 7,000 miles, that clutch gonna go out. So when you buy a used one, you looking to see if the clutch being replaced. Like, man, get out of here. We only put standards of expectations on each other while we accept the worst out of everybody else. And that's black people problem. It's not all black people problem. That's really niggas problem. Black people know better. And Big U on some nigga shit. And I'm going to tell you like this. If I had that power that I'm leading these men, we would go somewhere. And it wouldn't be to jail. We out.